Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, February 26, 2021. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's college basketball, NBA, and NHL games and look ahead to today's games as well as the weekends in each sport. We'll look at the standings at the moment in the golf tournament for the weekend and just look ahead to that a little bit. NASCAR, we will preview and predict the winners of the two races this weekend. The latest news and notes, and my best bet of the day. We're going to start in college basketball as we will go over what was a busy slate yesterday, and we will look ahead to a busy Friday and weekend. So without further ado, here we go. Miami of Ohio over Western Michigan, 74-66. Ohio over Eastern Michigan, 86-67. Buffalo over Central Michigan, 85-73. St. Francis Brooklyn over Merrimack, 84-71. SIU Edwardsville over Tennessee Martin, 66-53. Number 1 Gonzaga over Santa Clara, 89-75. Number 3 Michigan over number 9 Iowa, 79-57. Number 5 Illinois over Nebraska, 86-70. Number 12 Houston over Western Kentucky, 81-57. Detroit Mercy over Robert Morris, 83-73 in the Horizon League first round as Detroit moves on. Florida A&M over South Carolina State, 75-67. Arizona State over Washington, 80-72. Maxie Marys over St. Francis, Pennsylvania, 72-65 in overtime. Fairleigh Dickinson over Sacred Heart, 82-69. Bryan over Long Island, 87-80. Wagner over Central Connecticut State, 83-63. Morehead State over Tennessee State, 74-60. Prairie View over Mississippi Valley State, 82-62. Youngstown State over UIC, 74-58 in the Horizon League first round. Purdue Fort Wayne over Green Bay, 89-84 in double overtime in the Horizon League first round. In Milwaukee over IUPUI, 84-72 in the Horizon League first round. So I went 3 for 4 with my picks for the Horizon League first round. UCLA over Utah, 76-61. Eastern Kentucky upsets Belmont, 81-67. Weber State over Sacramento State, 82-73. Jacksonville State over Murray State, 87-74. Southeast Missouri State over Eastern Illinois, 94-88. Texas Southern over Arkansas Pine Bluff, 79-65. Northern Colorado over Portland State, 66-64. Michigan State upsets number 4 Ohio State, 71-67. Colorado over number 19 USC, 80-62. So that was Vegas knows. Number 22 San Diego State over Boise State, 78-66 in overtime. BYU over San Francisco, 79-73. Oregon over Stanford, 71-68. Northwestern upsets Minnesota, 67-59. Tennessee Tech over Austin Peay, 81-76. Loyola Marymount over Pepperdine, 81-74. Montana over Idaho State, 64-58. Oregon State over Cal, 59-57. St. Mary's over Pacific, 58-46. And Arizona over Washington State, 69-53. All right, today's games, Canisius and Niagara were supposed to be played, but that unfortunately got canceled. 2 o'clock, North Florida and Stetson. I have Stetson projected as a 1-point favorite. And according to FanDuel, Stetson is by 4. So I'm taking North Florida plus the 4 to cover the number. No, I did not do totals again because I did not have time to do so. 4 o'clock Riders, St. Peter's. My projection St. Peter's 11 and it's 10 according to ESPN. I would project the total in this game to be like the mid 140s or so. I would expect St. Peter's to go out there and win. They're just better than Rider. Tulane and Cincinnati. I'm at Cincinnati by 10 and it's 6. I'm going to lay the 6 with Cincinnati. Wagner and Central Con State. I have Wagner 16.5 and it is Wagner 9.5. I'm going to lay the 9.5 with Wagner. LIU and Bryant. My projection is Bryant 1 and it's 6. I'm taking LIU in the 6. St. Francis Brooklyn and Merrimack. I've at a pick 'em and it's Merrimack 2.5. I'm taking St. Francis Brooklyn plus the points. Drexel James Madison. I have James Madison 4 and it's 1.5. I'm going to lay the 1.5 with James Madison. Manhattan Siena. I'm at Siena 15 and it's 10. I'm going to lay the 10 with Siena. U Monroe and Texas State. I am at Texas State 17. And it is 9.5. I'm going to lay to 9.5 with Texas State against UL Monroe. UC Davis Cal Poly, I'm at Davis 13. And it's 6.5. I'm going to lay to 6.5 at Davis at minus 106. 6 o'clock for Florida Gulf Coast and Kennesaw State. I'm at Gulf Coast 13.5. And it is... Oh, I don't have a line out yet. But if it's Gulf Coast, anything under 11.5, I'm betting on Gulf Coast. And if it's Kennesaw, anything over 15, I'm going to bet Kennesaw. George Washington and St. Bonaventure. I'm at Bonaventure by 12, and it's 14. I'm taking George Washington plus the 14. Omaha, Denver. I'm at Omaha 3.5, and it's Denver 2. I'm taking Omaha plus the 2 and plus 100 on the money line. App State, Georgia Southern. I'm at App State 2, and it's Georgia Southern 2. I'm taking App State plus the 2 and plus 116 straight up. 7 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, Purdue, Penn State. I'm at Purdue 9.5. And it is Penn State by 1. Oh, my God. This better not be Vegas knows because that's moronic. I'm taking Purdue plus the 1 and even money on the money line. Drake Bradley. I'm at Drake 13.5. And it's 9. I'm going to lay to 9 with Drake there. Missouri State and Evansville. I'm at Missouri State 12.5, and it is 5.5. I'm going to lay to 5.5 with Missouri State at minus 106. Indiana State Valparaiso. I'm at Indiana State 7.5, and it's 3.5. I'm going to lay to 3.5. Fairleigh Dickinson and Sacred Heart. I don't see a line out for this, but my projection is Dickinson by 3. If it's anything higher than 4.5, I'm taking Sacred Heart. And if Dickinson's favored by anything less than 1.5, or if Sacred Heart's favored, I'm taking Dickinson. ESPN 2, Richmond, St. Louis. I'm at Richmond 2. And it is Richmond getting 4.5. I'm taking Richmond plus the 4.5 and plus 184 on the money line. St. Louis has been the most overrated team in all of college basketball this year. I'm sorry. Arkansas State and Texas Arlington. I'm at Louisiana by 4, and it's Arlington by 4. I'm taking Arkansas State plus the 4 and plus 150 straight up. Coastal Carolina and Troy. I am at Coastal 10.5, and it's 5.5. We lay to 5.5. Next up, we got North Texas and Marshall on ESPNU. I'm at North Texas 3. And Marshall by 4. I'm taking North Texas plus the 4 and plus 154 on the money line. Middle Tennessee and Old Dominion. Old Dominion is a 10-point favorite according to me and according to FanDuel. So that's the first one I got right. Total 134.5. I'm taking the over. I think that's a little low. UAB and UTSA. I'm at UAB 4.5. And it's 4. Total 144.5. I'm going to take another over. Bowling Green, Akron. I'm at Akron 2.5, and it is Akron 4. Total 152.5. I'm taking the under. That's high. UC San Diego and UC Irvine. I'm at Irvine 10. And Irvine is favored by 11.5. Totals 137.5. I'm jumping on the over. Southern Utah, Northern Arizona. I'm at Southern Utah by a whopping 14.5, and it's 7.5. I'm laying the 7.5 at Southern Utah. Montana State and Idaho, I'm at Montana State 19. And it's 11.5. I'm giving the 11.5, and it's minus 106. 7:30, Louisiana and Little Rock. I'm at Louisiana by 4. And it's Little Rock 1.5. I'm taking Louisiana plus the 1.5 at minus 116 and plus 116 on the money line. Rice, Louisiana Tech. I'm at Louisiana Tech by 10.5, and it's 9.5. Total is 143.5. I'm taking the over. 8 o'clock, FAU Southern Miss. I'm at FAU 6.5, and it's 1.5. On the lay to 1.5 with FAU. Texas Rio Grande and Utah Valley. I'm at Rio Grande by 1. And it's Utah Valley by 3. I'm taking Rio Grande plus the 3 and plus 116 straight up. New Mexico State and Tarleton. I'm at New Mexico State by 8.5. And that's what it is. Total's 131.5, and I'm jumping all over the over. 8:30, UMKC, South Dakota State. I'm at South Dakota State by 7. It's 8.5. Total's 137. I'm jumping on the over. 9 o'clock on CBS Sports Network, Southern Illinois, and number 21, Loyola Chicago. And it's Loyola Chicago 15.5. And it's 19. And take it Southern Illinois plus the 19. ESPNU, Northern Iowa, and Illinois State. I'm at Northern Iowa by 5.5, and it's 3.5. I'm going to lay to 3.5 in Northern Iowa at minus 116. Fox Sports 1, Nevada, Utah State. I'm at Utah State 4.5, and it's 7.5. I'm taking Nevada in the points. ESPN 2, Georgia State, South Alabama. I'm at Georgia State by 2. And that's what it is. So it's 143.5. I'm taking the over. Grand Canyon, Seattle. I'm at Grand Canyon 10, and it's 6. I'm laying the 6. 10 o'clock, Northridge, Bakersfield. I'm at Bakersfield by 9, and it's 8.5. Totals 140. I'm taking the over. 11 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, Fresno State, UNLV. I'm at Pick'em. It's UNLV by 6. I'm taking Fresno State in the 6. Plus 220 is intriguing, but I'm not willing to pull the trigger. Santa Barbara and Riverside. I'm at Barbara by 9, and it's 8.5. Or no. I was looking at the other game, sorry. It's 3. I'm laying the 3 at Barbara at minus 106. And last but not least, at midnight Eastern, Long Beach State and Hawaii. I'm at Hawaii by 0.5. It's Hawaii by 7. I'm taking Long Beach State plus the 7 for them to cover. Saturday slate. It's a big one. TBD time, Holy Cross, Colgate. 12 o'clock, number 3, Michigan at Indiana. CBS, number 14, Texas, and number 18, Texas Tech. ESPN, number 25, Tennessee at Auburn. Navy, Loyola. Fox Sports 1, Georgetown, DePaul. Syracuse, Georgia Tech on the ACC Network. 1 o'clock, Stony Brook, UMass Lowell. That's the America East first round. So, I'm going to do that podcast tonight or early tomorrow morning, and you'll have my picks for that tournament on a show tomorrow separately. 1 o'clock, SEC Network, South Carolina, Georgia. Stanford, the Citadel, Mercer, Western Carolina, Central Michigan, Ball State, Northern Illinois, Eastern Michigan. 2 o'clock, number 5, Illinois, number 23, Wisconsin, ESPN. ESPN 2, LSU at number 20, Arkansas. North Florida, Stetson, Binghamton, Hartford, American East playoff round 1. Big South round 1 begins tomorrow, so I'll do that podcast tonight or early tomorrow morning. Presbyterian and Hampton, American Bucknell, VCU, Davidson, Miami, Clemson, Notre Dame, Boston College on the ACC Network. Liberty, Bellarmine on ESPNU. That's a good game for ESPNU to get. CBS Sports Network, Rice, Louisiana Tech, North Texas, Marshall, Buffalo, Ohio. Portland State, Northern Colorado, Montana, Idaho State, Weber State, Sacramento State, 2:30 on Fox, Marquette, UConn, 3 o'clock ABC, Oklahoma State at number 7, Oklahoma, BU Army, CBS, Washington, Arizona, Lipscomb, North Alabama, App State, Georgia Southern, 3:30 SEC Network, Ole Miss, ESPNU. 4 o'clock ESPN2, Kansas State at number 10, West Virginia. ESPN, number 11, Florida State and North Carolina. North Carolina, it's a must-win for them. They need this game to get back into the mix after losing to the Marquette. ACC Network, Wake at number 16, Virginia Tech. CBS Sports Network, Boise State at number 22, San Diego State. Vanguard, Cal Baptist. Big South first round, South Carolina upstate at High Point. Lehigh, Lafayette, Quinnipiac, Marist. ESPNU, Temple, UCF. Air Force, Colorado State, San Jose State, Wyoming. Southeast Louisiana, Northwestern State. CBS, Florida, Kentucky. Belmont, Morris State, UAB, UTSA. Pepperdine, San Diego. Greensboro, East Tennessee State. 4:30, LaSalle, George Mason. Pac-12 Network, Washington State, Arizona State. North Dakota State, South Dakota. Kent State, Miami of Ohio. 5 o'clock on Fox, number 13, Creighton at Xavier. America East, first round, NJIT, Albany. Tennessee Martin, Eastern Illinois. Austin P. Jacksonville State. Coastal Carolina, Troy. Arkansas State, Texas, Arlington. Louisiana, Little Rock. Yale Monroe, Texas State. FU, Southern Miss. Western Michigan, Toledo. UC Davis, Cal Poly. 5:30, Stephen F. Austin, Lamar. Alcorn State, Southern. Texas Southern, Alabama State. Prairie View, Alabama A&M. 6 o'clock SEC Network, number 6, Alabama, Mississippi State. ESPN2, Southern Illinois at number 21, Loyola, Chicago. Florida Gulf Coast, Kennesaw State. Alon, UNC Wilmington, Florida A&M, South Carolina State. CBS Sports Network, Northern Iowa at Illinois State. Indiana State, Valpo. 6 o'clock ESPN, Louisville, Duke. Omaha, Denver. Southeast Missouri State, SAU, Edwardsville. Abilene Christian, Central Arkansas. Charlotte, UTEP. ESPNU, TCU, Iowa State. 7 o'clock ESPN3, Miami, Siena. Duquesne, Rhode Island. Or Duquesne's the home team for that game. Minnesota, Nebraska on the Big Ten Network. Missouri State, Evansville. Drake, Bradley. Oregon State, Stanford on the Pac-12 Network. East Carolina, Tulsa. Nichols, New Orleans. Tennessee State, Eastern Kentucky. Georgia State, South Alabama. Middle Tennessee, Old Dominion. Furman, Wofford. San Diego, Irvine in the Big West. 8 o'clock ESPN. Great game. Number 2, Baylor. Number 17, Kansas. That's probably where game day is. That's their focus game. Dan Schulman, Jay Billis probably on the call. Will Baylor be handed their first loss in this game? I don't know. This is the only game I'm going to call on the podcast. I'm going to say that Baylor wins, but I don't know the line. I don't know my projection or anything like that. But I'll give out my picks on the on Twitter at Madison Mills 28 tomorrow. ESPN2, number 19, USC at Utah. Ryder, St. Peter's, Coppin State, Delaware. NC Central at NCAT and ESPNU. Western Illinois, Oral Roberts. Texas, Rio Grande, Utah Valley. New Mexico State, Tarleton, Jackson State, Mississippi Valley State. 8:30, Houston Baptist, McNeese. UMKC, South Dakota State. 9 o'clock, Boise State, Tennessee Tech. Grand Canyon, Seattle. Grambling, Arkansas, Pine Bluff. 10 o'clock, ESPN. William R. Mountain, and number 1, Gonzaga. ESPNU, St. Mary's, BYU. San Francisco Pacific, ESPN2, UCLA, Colorado. Fox Sports 1, Oregon, Cal. Santa Barbara, Riverside. Long Beach State, Hawaii. And Northridge, Bakersfield. Sunday. TBD, Holy Cross, Colgate. 12 o'clock, CBS, number 8, Villanova at Butler. 1 o'clock, America East Playoffs, a TBD at New Hampshire. ESPN, Memphis, Cincinnati. 2 o'clock, CBS, Michigan State, Maryland. An America East quarterfinal game at 3 o'clock. It's a TBD. BU, Army, Charlotte, UTEP, Florida International, Western Kentucky, Montana State, Idaho. 4 o'clock, CBS, number 9, Iowa, number 4, Ohio State. That is a huge game. If I had to pick at gunpoint, I'd say Buckeyes, bounce back spot. ESPNU, South Florida, number 12, Houston. Loyola, Maryland at Navy. Bucknell, American, Quinnipiac, Marist. Pitt, NC State on the ACC Network. North Dakota State, South Dakota at 4:30. 5 o'clock, Coppin State, Delaware State. 6 o'clock, Lehigh hosts Lafayette. Florida A&M and South Carolina State. 7 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, Nevada, Utah State. And 8 o'clock, Western Illinois at Oral Roberts. Alrighty, so there you have it for college basketball for the weekend and stuff. Now we'll look back on the NBA games from last night and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Sixers over the Mavs, 111-97. Nets over the Magic, 129-92. Knicks over the Kings, 140-121. Grizz over the Clippers, 122-94. Wizards over the Nuggets, 112-110. Bucks over the Pelicans, 129-125. Tonight, 7:30 ESPN, Pacers, Celtics. The Celtics have been absolutely in an abyss of late. I project them, though, as a 2.5-point favorite in a total of 223. Meanwhile, FanDuel has this at Boston 3 total 218.5. I love the over here. Love it, love it, love it. I know no Marcus Smart. That hurts Boston's defense. I know no Malcolm Brogdon. He's there. Levert and Warren. But I love this over at minus 104 between the Pacers and the Celtics. Rockets, Raptors. I'm at Raptors 6.5 total 221. It was 8 and 223. So 1.5 off on each side. I wouldn't bet any of this because I'm too close. But at gunpoint, if you force me to bet one of these with a 1.5 point edge, I would take the under because it has value. Under 223 at minus 108 due to the injury to Christian Wood. And that hurts the Rockets' offense. 8 o'clock, Kings, Pistons. I'm at Sacramento 6, total 227. Meanwhile, it's Sacramento 1, total 224.5. I love Sacramento minus 1 at Detroit. Love it, even though they're on the second of a back-to-back. It could be. I think this is a bounce-back spot for Sacramento. Jazz, Heat. I'm at Jazz 11.5, total 219.5. Meanwhile, it is Jazz 7, total 217. So I love that I have an edge on the Jazz. So I'm going to lay the 7 with the Jazz at minus 114 against Miami. Suns, Bulls. I'm at Suns 10.5, total 226. Meanwhile, Suns 6, total 227.5. I love that I have an edge on the Suns. I'm going to lay the 6 with the Suns against the Bulls. Clippers, Grizzlies again. I'm at Clippers 10, total 223.5. Meanwhile, it's Clippers 5.5, total 226. A lot of adjustments here. I'm going to double check the injury report for this game for the Clippers because that is pretty low now. It was 8 yesterday, or maybe this is just an overreaction to yesterday. So it looks like that no injuries or nothing. I'm going to lay it with the Clippers. I don't like it, but yeah. And by the way, the Suns just went down to 5.5 against the Bulls live on the podcast. Hawks, Thunder. I'm at Hawks 4, total 223. Meanwhile, it is Hawks 5, total 223.5. I can't bet any of this either. But at gunpoint, I would take the Thunder getting 5. They arguably have the best player on the court in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 10 o'clock, Hornets, Warriors. I'm at Golden State 6.5, total 225. Meanwhile, it is Golden State 6.5, total 224. I love the under. That's way too high. They're overinflating Golden State totals. And on ESPN, Trailblazers, Lakers. I'm at Lakers 8.5, total 224. Meanwhile, it's Lakers 5, total 223. Bounce back spot for the Lakers. The Blazers are still without McCollum and Nurkic. But I know the Lakers are without Davis. And without Schroeder, too, I forgot to put that adjustment, too. So it should be, on my projection, 7.5 total, 224. So even if it's 7.5, I'd still lay it with the Lakers. So I'm going to lay the 5 with the Los Angeles Lakers tonight against the Blazers. All right, rest of the weekend, Saturday, 7 o'clock. Cavs, Sixers, Wolves, Wiz, NBA TV, 8 o'clock, Pelicans, Spurs, Pacers, Knicks, Jazz, Magic, Nuggets, Thunder, and then the primetime game on ABC's Mavs, Nets. So Luka against the Big Three. And I love Brooklyn on Saturday night. Sunday, 3:30 ABC, Clippers, Bucks. Great game in Milwaukee. Gunpoint, I would take the... Oof. If Drew Holiday's back, I'll take the Bucks. Straight up. 7 o'clock, Bulls, Raptors, Wizards, Celtics. 8 o'clock, Hawks, Heat, Knicks, Pistons, Grizzlies, Rockets, Warriors, Lakers on ESPN. That's a good game. I would say Lakers at gunpoint, but wouldn't rule out Golden State in that game. 9 o'clock, Suns, Timberwolves, and 10 o'clock, the Hornets and the Kings. Now I'll look back on yesterday's NHL games and look ahead to the games for tonight and the weekend. So, without further ado, here we go. Islanders over the Bruins 7-2. Pens lose at the Caps 5-2. Lightning over the Hurricanes 3-1. Panthers over the Stars 3-2. Blackhawks over the Blue Jackets 2-0. Sens over the Flames 6-1. Devils over the Sabres 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Pavel Zacha. Red Wings over the Preds 5-2. Jets over the Canadiens 6-3 in their first game without Claude Julien there. And Oilers over the Canucks 3-0. Only 3 games tonight because 2 of them postponed because the Sharks had some COVID issues. So Blues Sharks postponed, and then there was some contact tracing going on with the Sharks' previous opponent, which was actually the Wild. And Avs Coyotes was postponed from last night, so it was Golden Knights Sharks. But I know it was Thomas Hurdle that had the COVID. So there must be more COVIDs that that must be the Golden Knights because that was postponed as well for tomorrow, Golden Knights Ducks. Or for tonight, my bad. 3 games. 7 o'clock, Bruins Rangers from the Garden. So the Rangers get fans back. We saw the Knicks with fans back in their last 2 games. Boston minus 176, Rangers plus 148, over under 5.5. Boston minus 1.5 is plus 162. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 194. I'm taking the over. I think this could have blowout potential. I know I bet it or picked against the Rangers on the show on Wednesday, making a case that the turmoil will come back to bite them on the ice a little bit, and their play will show the distraction. But I should have taken the over in that game. I'm going to go over here instead of laying it with the Bruins because the Rangers were competitive against Philly, but they just couldn't get it done. So I'm going to go over 5.5 between Boston and New York tonight. 8 o'clock, you have the Kings and the Wild. The Wild are minus 178. The Kings are plus 150. Over under 5.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 120. The Kings plus 1.5 is minus 174. The Wild plus 1.5 or minus 1.5 is plus 146. I'm going to lay the big juice and go under 5.5 and minus 120. I was considering Kings plus 150, but I don't have the guts to pull the trigger, so I'm going to go under 5.5 and minus 120. I'm going to say that Jonathan Quick plays well for Washington or for LA. I don't know why I'm thinking Washington. Whatever. But, yeah, under 5.5 and minus 120. I think this could be a 3-2 game either way. And at 9 o'clock, you have the Avs and the Coyotes. The Avs are minus 190. The Coyotes plus 160. Over under 5.5, so overs even money. Unders minus 120. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 144. Coyotes plus 1.5 is minus 172. Vegas is still sleeping on the Coyotes in the fact that they're an over team. So I'm going to go over 5.5 at even money. Not only have they been scoring of late a little bit, their goaltending hasn't been spectacular of late. And the Coyotes the Avalanche have a great offense too. So I'm going to go over 5.5 at even money there. All right, Saturday, 1 o'clock, Flyers, Sabres, Caps, Devils, Flames, Sens, 3 o'clock, Blue Jackets, Preds, 7 o'clock, Penguins, Islanders, Stars, Lightning, Hurricanes, Panthers, Maple Leafs, Oilers, 8 o'clock, Red Wings, Blackhawks, Kings, Wild, 9 o'clock, Avs, Coyotes, 10 o'clock, Canadiens, Jets, Golden Knights, Ducks, 10:30, Blues, Sharks. Sunday, 12 o'clock, NBC, Bruins, Rangers, 3 o'clock, Flyers, Sabres, Blue Jackets, Preds, Caps, Devils, 5 o'clock, Penguins, Islanders, and 7 o'clock, NBCSN. You have the Red Wings and the Blackhawks. Now we will go over the current leaderboard of the Workday Championship. That is currently going on. I'll tell you what, my pick of Brooks Koepka is looking real good. So, tied for first with 6 under, Webb Simpson and Matthew Fitzpatrick. Tied for third with 5 under, Brooks Koepka, Brett Horschel, Sergio Garcia, and Kevin Kisner. Tied for 7th at 4 under, Sungjae Im, Wade Ormsby, Patrick Reed, Cam Smith, Tony Finau, and John Rahm. Tied for 13th with 3 under, Scotty Scheffler, Sebastian Munoz, Rory McIlroy, Joaquin Niemann, Victor Perez, and Louis Oldson. Tied for 19th with 2 under, Lucas Griffin, David Lipsky, Colin Morikawa, Jason Kokrak, Lucas Griffin, I said him already, Tyrell Hatton, and Thomas Detry. Tied for 25th with 1 under, Abraham Ancer, Ricky Palmer, Victor Hovland, Christian Beastenhout, Brandon Stone, Gary Woodland, Xander Schauffele, Jason Day, Chon Kim, and Eric Van Rooyen. Even, Laurie Cantor, Sammy Valimaki, my bad with the pronunciation, Will Zalatoris, also there, Shane Lowry, Cameron Champ, Hideki Matsuyama, Aaron Ray, Adam Scott, Mark Leishman. In the 44th place tie with 1 under, now I'm just going to do notables. Justin Thomas, Daniel Berger, Mackenzie Hughes, Justin Rose, Kevin Na. Tied for 53rd with 2 over, Brendan Todd, Lee Westwood. Tommy Fleetwood's in a tie for 60th with 3 over. Dustin Johnson's in a tie for 64th with 5 over, as well as Bryson DeChambeau and Bubba Watson. Harry English is in a tie for 68th with 6 over. So there you have it for the Workday Championship leaderboard. And now I'm going to move on to NASCAR and make my picks for the weekend's races. I'm going to start with Xfinity. Trucks, as we know, are off for the weekend, so I'm going to go over the starting lineup for the Xfinity Series for the weekend. And the race will be held tomorrow. And without further ado, here we go. Austin Cindric is on the pole. Daniel Hemrick, second. And then you have Harrison Burton, Brandon Jones, Jeb Burton, Brett Moffitt, Brandon Brown, Justin Haley, Jeremy Clements, Matt Snyder, Landon Castle, Kyle Weatherman, Ty Dillon, Jesse Little, Josh Williams, Joe Graff Jr., Matt Mills, Michael Annett, Justin Allgaier, Josh Berry, Santina, Ferrucci, Ryan Sieg, Noah Grax, AJ Allmendinger, Alex Ladd, Gary Galding, Tommy Joe Barnes, Colby Howard, Riley Herbst, Stephon Parsons, Jade Buford, Dexter Bean, Timmy Hill, Bailey Curry, Ryan Vargas, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Chad Fincham, Tyler Riddick, JJ Yeley, and David Starr. So that is your starting lineup, and now I'm going to go to DraftKings for the odds here for this race. And as I mentioned each and every week, that NASCAR's better odds are on DraftKings. And I'm going to go with Justin Allgaier at 14-1. I know he's starting in the back of the field, but I just like the odds there, so I'm just going to jump on Justin Allgaier at 14-1. It's just a gut feeling I have. And now to the starting lineup for the Cup Series in Miami. Denny Hamlin on the pole. Then Joey Logano, Chris Bell, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, Michael McDowell, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Preece, Martin Truex Jr., Cole Custer, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, Alec Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Eric Almirola, Kyle Larson, Eric Jones, Bubba Wallace, Justin Haley, Daniel Suarez, Austin Dillon, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Corey LaJoie, Cody Ware, Anthony Alfredo, Garrett Smithley, James Davison, Chase Briscoe, William Byron, Ross Chaston, Timmy Hill, BJ McClay, Tyler Riddick, Josh Bilicki, Matt DiBenedetto, Quinn Houff. So that is a pretty good lineup for Sunday. And in terms of a pick, I'm going to go with somebody that is starting in the top 10, and that is Brad Keselowski. He is 13-1, and I just like Brad Keselowski at this course. He's had some good history here, so give me Brad Keselowski at 13-1 to win the race on Sunday. Now, the latest news and notes. Some of the Russell Wilson chatter. His agent shot it down ASAP. He's like, he doesn't want to trade, but then a report came out that if he were to request a trade, it would be Dallas, Chicago, Raiders, and Dolphins. So the Russell Wilson rumors seem to be fake news, like I thought. The NBA suspends Malik Beasley for 12 games for conduct stemming for charges in the offseason. So that was to be expected, but it was a matter of when, not if. That was a big loss for a tanking team, quite frankly, if they were to be winning games. But the Timberwolves are probably like, okay, we're tanking anyway. Chris Bryant got Mets text. The Cup star said that he received a welcome to the Mets text during the offseason. So that is hysterical. And he found out that it wasn't true. That's crazy. That is hysterical. That was probably a Mets person saying that. And then it was fake news because that is so Mets, right? A player finds out he's traded there only to find out he's not traded there. That is so Mets. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I guess a deal was close, but it just never materialized. So yeah, that's very interesting. Deshaun Watson tells Houston's head coach he's out. I know that they've had conversations, and Watson retreated to the new head coach, David Culley, that he wants to be traded and has no intention of playing for Houston again. So it's a lock he's traded. I think it's Miami. I've been saying it all along. I think that they realized how much more potential Justin Herbert has than Tua Tagovailoa, and that Tua is too injury prone and not ready yet, and that it's going to be a huge overreaction for them, and they're going to send Tua and all these picks to Houston, and they will have Deshaun Watson, and the Texans will have Tua Tagovailoa. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Russell Wilson did not demand a trade. And no, it wasn't the Dolphins that Wilson would consider. It was the Saints. It was Cowboys, Saints, Raiders, Bears that Wilson would consider. And then Richard Sherman and Jeremy Crease posted not so cryptic tweets as the drama with Russ and the Seahawks was unfolding. But as we know, Wilson did not demand the trade, as we know at the moment. And then the other big story that came out yesterday is that the NCAA tournament won't replace teams, and the Division I committee announced that there will be no reseeding or bracket changes if any team withdrew due to COVID-19. I don't think anybody's going to withdraw personally unless if there's like a ton of COVID cases involving a school. And I think that is even unlikely. And I won't be shocked if there's players missing games due to COVID, but I don't think any team's going to necessarily withdraw. I heard that the CIT tournament got canceled for a second consecutive year due to COVID, but that's one of the lower tournaments. It looks like the NIT will still happen, so that is good for some of those teams that are the close but no cigar teams. So, yeah, we're going to see how that all plays out with the tournament, and if anybody withdraws, which I mentioned, highly doubt, because it is the big dance. If anything, if there are COVID stuff, there could be games postponed, or there'll be players missing games due to COVID, if that. Now I'm going to do my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. There wasn't many that stood out to me in college basketball or the NBA or even the NHL for that matter. And I'm really undecided of where to go with this. So, where I'm going to go with my best bet for today is the Sacramento Kings -1 at Detroit. I just think that is very, very low of a number. You're just banking on the Kings to win by more than 1 point. I think that's easy. They have the best player on the court in De'Aaron Fox. All due respect to Jeremy Grant. But no, the Pistons stink. Sacramento has a better roster. So I'm laying 1 point for the Sacramento Kings on the road at Detroit in the second of a back-to-back. I understand that, but they're just better than the Pistons, and the Pistons are tanking. And Sacramento is trying to get in the postseason in the Western Conference. So there you have it for the podcast today. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything from college basketball, the NBA and the NHL, NASCAR and golf, and look ahead to every game on Monday night. We are going to drop some college basketball conference tournament podcasts tonight with the Big South and the AEC, and obviously more podcasts to come for next week as well. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, everyone.